So I first met Nate after I came back from UW-Madison. I had just graduated, and me and one of my friends, Ashley, who's actually one of my bridesmaids, she talked me into going out the day after Christmas, and I was sitting across from the bar, and he was over there obviously trying to look at me, or trying to avoid looking at me, and I kept catching him like side eye.
I caught her looking at me. I'm sitting there minding my own business and I see her looking at me. So, she even went to a step further and got up and went to go say hi to everybody I was with but me. I found that to be bogus, because I wanted to say hi too.
His eyes, they're real, they're like a key to the soul type thing. I know it sounds cliche, but a lot of people don't really look in his eyes because he's so tall, they just look up at him. But if you look in his eyes, I feel like that's really what captured me when I first saw him.
Her eyes, granted I couldn't see anything from, half of her body up, but her eyes, that's the reason why it took me so long to go talk to her, because I was traumatized from her eyes, When I seen her eyes, I didn't know what to do. I was froze.
He worked up the courage. It was like, probably like the last song. It was like Bar Call. And he came over, and first he said his name was Ray. So he lied to me about his name.
So yeah. So it all started off all crazy because I told her my name was either Ray or Chris. I don't even know. I told her something. And I told her that I was like 22. And I was definitely 26 or 27 at the time.
So then he lied to me about his age. And finally, we exchanged numbers, and he told me his real name and his age, and it's just kind of been golden ever since.
So hey, I had to be sure she was who she was before I gave her my information. So that's how it all started.
Our first date was at Barnes & Noble's because I was studying, and he met me there, and I think he was kind of intrigued because he didn't really think that I was really going to be at Barnes & Noble studying until he came.
Man, you know what? I don't call that a date, but that was my first interaction with her. Yeah, I went up to her, or I went up to Barnes & Noble's. I met her, and she was studying. I think she was confused. Like, she didn't know what to do when I went up there. I chilled with her for about 30 minutes while she studied.
And we probably sat there and talked for like an hour and a half.
I remember hugging her right before I left, and the look on her face when I hugged her before I left was just kind of like, she was just like, she didn't know what to do. Like, she didn't know how to take me, and I knew that right then and there, but I don't even know how to take me sometimes, so hey, it is what it is.
So that was our first date, but then if you want to count actually going somewhere, we went to the movies. I can't even remember what we saw.
I believe the movie was Lincoln. We went Kenosha, Tinseltown, I still remember. And yeah, so that was our first date, going to see Lincoln. Powerful movie for a powerful date, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
He seemed really quiet, and he was that way for a while until we really got to sit and talk one-on-one, and then you realize he's not quiet. Like, at times he just doesn't shut up.
I'm the calm one out of the two. I think we balance each other out, I'm the one that analyzes everything before I do anything, before we do something. I try to figure out what's right, what's wrong. She's the one that just go. She's ready to get everything done here. Like, it's just about, let's get up and do it. Me, I kind of think about everything first.
I'm more outgoing, for sure. He's an introvert, and it's kind of like you have to nudge him to try something new. It's like what's the saying? If it ain't broke, don't fix it type deal. Like, he's this is what I know, this is what I'm gonna keep doing, and I don't need to try anything new. So I think that's the biggest difference. I'm outspoken and he's like quiet.
Stop taking everything so serious, man. Like, I just, I'm a goofball, so sometimes you be getting too serious about things, I like to wake up and I like to clown around, It's a beautiful day outside, especially today. She don't like to wake up and just be happy. She has to wait 2-3 hours, That's all. Boy, I'm gonna get this. Oh my God, she's about to be mad.
Well, the first time I brought him over, my family is really big and we always try to fit into my grandma's house. So there was probably like 15, 20 of us over at my grandma's house, and this is still the Nate that doesn't know my family. So we're all, I wouldn't say loud, but we're very boisterous, we're very talkative, and he's just sitting in the corner of the couch not saying anything, and everyone's like, does he talk, or does he just sit there? Like, what's wrong with him?
They probably thought I was quiet. I didn't talk. I ain't talk to nobody. I mean, I came in and said hi, and that was probably the only thing I said before I said bye. Like, that's it. Hi and bye.
So it literally took him a couple months before he actually was like comfortable with like my cousins, because a lot of us are all the same age, so we all hang out. And with my dad, even with my mom and dad, he was like nervous, but then he realized like my dad's really cool and my mom's just funny.
I mean, I don't talk much. I still don't talk too much around, a crowd of people. So that was probably the first and last thing they said about me. It's like, man, Nate's quiet. I understand. I still love y'all.
A lot of people think that I take a lot of time to get ready, and he spends way more time in the mirror than I do. And if you look at him, you wouldn't like notice that. You would think, oh, he probably just takes like typical 10-15 minute guy time to get ready. But this guy has to have his hat matching, his clothes matching, his shoes, like everything has to be to a T. And it's like, come on, dude, it's 2 hours now. Come on, what's going on? So I think that's one thing that's kind of quirky about him that a lot of people wouldn't know.
The only thing I'm gonna say is that she's a clumsy one. That's all. I mean, yeah, she's clumsy, I love that too, But she'll run into a door, a cabinet or something like it's not there. Like she's something she do quite often, and I'm definitely gonna get in trouble for telling you this, but hey, it's life.
Down in Kenosha, we had just got off work. It was one of those long weeks that was like it just never would end. And it wasn't the best week ever. And we were just talking about, okay, well, what are we gonna eat? What do we wanna do? It was a typical Friday night, just like, okay, what are we gonna do?
I told her I was going upstairs for something, and I had no intention to go upstairs because I had the ring in my pocket. So she was still at the sink, minding her own business, and I just dropped down to my knee, and I was there for literally about 5 minutes until she turned around.
Okay, do you want to go to the Red Box? Do you want to order pizza? Like, what do you want to do? But my back is still turned, and I'm like washing dishes and things like that. And then finally I turn around and he's like down on one knee, and he had the ring and everything, and I looked at it and I'm like I don't know what, like, is this for real? Or that's kind of was my first impression. And then he asked me would I be his wife, and I said yeah, after I cried for like probably like 20-30 minutes.
And when she turned around, man, she started crying for about 20 minutes straight, like she didn't know what to do. So I kind of said my speech. I don't know what it was. All I know is I told her that I love her and I wanted to marry her, and I asked her and she said yes.
So it was very intimate, and I think I wouldn't have had it any other way.
Nah, I didn't cry. I left all the tears for her. She cried.
He just made fun of me the whole time, and he recorded it, and I didn't realize he was recording it, so then I had to relive the fact that I was crying like a baby over and over again for like the next week and a half. So, but no, he didn't cry.
When I noticed that all my time was going to her, that's when I really knew that she was the one. But yeah, when I was in Arizona, she kind of held me down when I was out there, and on the phone, FaceTime. I ain't never used FaceTime ever, Never used FaceTime, whatever the other Skype. I never did none of that until I met her. I was on the phone with her every day, so I kind of knew then, but it was real when I moved back. So.
He's very selfless in our relationship, and I feel he's made me a better person in being more selfless in our relationship. I feel like love is just unconditional. Like, he gets under my skin, and I know I get under his skin sometime, but I wouldn't have it any other way as far as being with him for the rest of my life. It's like sometimes so surreal, like, can this really be this good of a relationship? You know how you kind of wait to see what's gonna go wrong so you can be like, I knew something was gonna go wrong. It just never happened like that.
Love is unexpected, I never think that, I feel this way about a person, and it was unexpected. Like, first of all, I didn't expect to meet her. And then for it to grow into what it is now, Like you can't define love, like for real. You just can't.
We feed off of each other, like we vibe, we know when each other, you know, one has a down day, we know how to get that person back up, and you know, vice versa. So I feel like that's what love is. Like it's a puzzle. You know, you fit like two pieces.
Baby, I love you. Those three words go as far as I don't know. I mean, it's no words actually to tell you, you know, how much I care for you. But you know, I'm definitely anxious and curious to know where we're gonna grow and where we're gonna be in the next couple of years.
Nate Dogg, I love you. Don't ever change. And we gonna get through this, and we gonna do this together till death do us part. G. Does that work?